Hey guys, this is going to be a quick section. We are pretty much done with chapter 4, section 4, but what I want to do here is actually push our entire application and the database to our Heroku app, because we haven't done that in a while. We haven't updated the repository in a while, so I figured we'd do that now. So what we can do is open up a shell prompt, and we want to go into CD C drive and the sites folder, and then to the my Ruby blog folder. Okay, what I want to do real quick is actually go to our local blog, our local application, and I'm going to run the server, because remember, we can't view our app on our local host unless we have the server running. So, and you have to be in the directory where the app is to run the server. So I'm going to go to my Ruby blog, and I'm going to do Rails S, which will start the server for us. So I'll get this over here. I'll just minimize it, and if we go to localhost 3000, and here's our app. Now the home page doesn't have any kind of dynamic content in it. Let's go to the posts page, and this is what we've created so far. These are all fields in our database. So what I want to do is import this information into our Heroku database, because it doesn't automatically import. So if we go to our, what was our my Ruby blog .herokuapp.com, I believe. Now we haven't updated our remote app either, so I'm actually going to do that first. Alright, because if we go to posts on our remote app, you'll see we still have these are the static posts that we put in a few chapters ago. So I want to update it. I want to commit. So we want to do git add, and don't worry about these messages. It's not important right now. And then we want to do git commit, and I'll just say commit to Heroku. Oh, we actually want to add the A and the M option after commit, so AM. So everything's committed now. Now we can push it. We can do that with git push Heroku master. Okay. Now this isn't going to update our database. It's not going to input the fields, the blog posts that we have on our local app. We have to actually do that separately. And I should be updating this. I should be doing this at the end of every section. So I'll try to keep that in mind for upcoming sections. Come on. Alright, so that looks good. Let's go back to, this is our remote app, and it's /posts. So I'm reloading that. Now it says we're sorry, but something went wrong, and the reason for that is I believe we have some migrations that we did on our local app that we didn't do on our remote app. So we have to migrate it on the Heroku site, and we can do that with Heroku run rake db. I'm pretty sure that will do it. Hopefully. Rake, oh, I'm sorry, that was wrong syntax. It's run rake and then db migrate. Okay. Alright, that looks good. Let's go back to this page and reload. And here we are. So you'll see our posts are not here, the fields. This is our local site, and we have these 3 posts. We don't have it here, but we do have the correct structure, and we do have the correct database schema set up. We just don't have the actual columns. We can add a new post here. I'm not going to do this right now because I want to show you how to actually grab the database from our local site and push it to the Heroku database. So we can do that by the command line. And what we want to do is we want to install an add-on that comes with Heroku called PG Backups, and that'll let us actually take a SQL dump file and import it into our Heroku site. So the first thing we need to do is install that add-on. So we can do that with Heroku add-ons add PG backups. Okay, so that's done. Now what we want to do is create the SQL dump file. And the way we can do that is with this syntax. We want to do PG password, and then you want to put your password. This is your database password. Then we PG dump, and then we want to add capital F and C options, 2 hyphens, and then no ACL and no owner. We don't want this to have an owner because we want to be able to import it no matter who the owner is. What else? The host. The host is going to be localhost, and the user will be Postgres. And this could be different depending on your database. Your password should go here, which will probably be different than mine, obviously, and then your username here. I'm using the default Postgres user. And what else? Now we need the name of our database, which is, what was the name? 1 second. Oh, my Ruby blog. Okay, that's the name of the database. Then we want this greater than, and we want to name our file my Ruby blog. Now it's going to be .dump. Okay. Let me just double check the syntax. Alright, so that should give us a dump file, and it doesn't. You know what? This is working on Windows, and I know that syntax works on Linux Ubuntu. I'm gonna double check. I'm gonna pause the video and come back just to see if there's anything extra we need to do since we're on Windows. Alright guys, I found the answer. When you're using Windows, you actually have to use the entire path. You can't just use PG dump. That's why it was giving us that error. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. I'm going to open our app. 1 second. Alright, so I'm going to go in our app, which is on the C drive, sites, my Ruby blog, and we want to get the dump file generated and put here. So let me just show you the syntax for that. So we want to do, with Windows, we need to have these double quotes, okay? And then we need to do the entire path. So we have to do C program files x86, because this is where the PG dump file is located. So PostgreSQL. The version I'm using now is 9.2, so that's what I'm going to put here. If you're using a different version, just change the 9.2 out, and it's in the bin folder. And then we want to do a backslash here, and then PG dump, and we need to have the .exe as well, and then double quotes. And now the rest will be the same as if we were on Linux. So FC no ACL, no owner, and the host will be localhost, and the user will be Postgres, and myrubyblog, and then the greater than sign, and then myrubyblog.dump. Okay, so that should do it for us. Let me just double check. Looks good. And then password. This is the password for the database user. And now if we go over here, we can see it generated a file. And we can look at that file, which is just a bunch of crap. That's not important. It's just that's going to be our schema along with the database fields and columns. So now that we have that, what we need to do is we need to upload this file somewhere on the internet where Heroku can get it. And this can be anything. It could be your personal website or a staging site or whatever. And you can do that. I use FileZilla for all my file transferring. And I'm going to use my staging server. Obviously this info will be different for you. So I'm going to put it in my public HTML and in my files. And FileZilla is free and open source, so you can download it. Just do a Google search. And I'm going to upload this. And I'm going to remember that this is at techguystaging.com/files, and then the database, the dump file name. So I'm going to minimize that because I want to delete it after I'm done. So now what we need to do is we need to use PG backups to import the database. And we do that with Heroku PG backups :restore, and we want database. Actually, we got to put the database name there, I believe. Database, and here we want to use quotes, and that's where we want to put our link to the file we just uploaded, which for me is HTTP TechGuy staging files and myrubyblog.dump. Okay. Alright. So what this is doing, it's telling us that this is a destructive action. And it's destructive because it's going to destroy whatever database we have on Heroku and replace it with this one. And that's what we want to do. So it's just asking you to type in the name of the app. So mine will be myrubyblog. Alright, so let's go to our remote site. We just want to go to, let's first go to our home page, make sure everything's alright. Alright, so now if we go to posts, we have our database fields. Alright, so everything went good. We imported the database correctly and it's all displaying correctly. So that's that. So in the next chapter, I believe we're going to implement Active Admin, which is it'll be an admin interface for us to be able to log in, and we'll be able to update and edit and create posts, categories, and users. So I will see you in that chapter.